I'm back for what it's worth. What it's worth. That was very disheartening. Like, I don't know if it's worth trying to play the game right now. I don't know what's going on with my computer. Like, literally, I played this game all week and didn't have any problems. But then last night, the very last time I played it, it crashed. Let me see. Stream. Reboot. Time to ask for a refund on my 6-year-old computer. No, wrong thing. Son of a bitch. Yeah, I'm just gonna post a link. To my whole flippin' channel. Let's edit that shit. There we go. Oh, refund the game. No, I'm playing on Game Pass, so I didn't buy it. And frankly, I don't think it's the game's fault. I'm also pretty sure even if I did buy it, most services would not let you play a game for 30 hours and then refund it. Hey Keith, it is great when it's not crashing my computer. Again, not the game's fault. My computer, I think, is circling the drain, as they say. Refund the viewers. Can I do that? Just all like, if I very quickly banned you and then unbanned you again, would you no longer be sponsors? Are you also circling the brain? The brain circling the drain? Brad, I don't want to hear that. That makes me sad. It reminds me of the time in Crusader Kings 3 where it said your friend and counselor, Brad Pritchard, has died. I screen capped it and shared it on social media. But I was still sad. So I think the big question is do I dare try to play this game again? Because two options. I can try to play the game, and I'm really sad because honestly, I really like this game. But I am at this point, the very last time I was playing it last night, it hard locked. And what was I, about 2 minutes into playing on stream, and it did it again. That makes me feel very much like may not work out well for me. All right, now I know there are going to be a lot of helpful suggestions, like Super Mega Baseball 3 or Pool of Radiance. Pool of Radiance, which is, I might add, not, I don't think it's presently installed. Oh God, please don't let it be installed. Woof mouth. I don't have my cam hooked up. My cam's hooked up to my work laptop right now for meetings. And if I start plugging and unplugging sources and shit in the middle of the stream, that already makes my computer, in the best of times, unstable. If midstream I start plugging in like new microphones and new cameras and shit. Skyrim, Fallout. What else? What did I... The problem with my Bethesda games is that my mods are broken. The games are all heavily modded, and my Nexus program is broken. So it's like, before I play any of my modded Bethesda games, I'm gonna have to figure out how to fix that shit. And since I haven't been in a huge Bethesda like mood, I have also therefore not dealt with this shit. I could try playing Avowed. No, I don't feel like playing Avowed. I could play Talos Principle Remastered. I don't know if anyone wants to see that shit at all. Strip Poker, Bethesda. I don't have a problem with it. I mod the fuck out of my Bethesda games, though. And then I broke my mod program at a certain point. I don't want to deal with... I can't even focus on all that shit. Like, honestly, troubleshooting that stuff is just me looking up a bunch of forums and websites and shit like that. I'm not going to do that on stream. Here, I can show you the new Talos Principle. Maybe hopefully this doesn't crash my screen. You know what? Hold on. I'm going to switch things up, though. We're going to just go general. I'm going to convert my stream to a general gaming stream. Just so people don't come looking for Adamfall. Live stuff. And then in parentheses, maybe. No game. And then we have a long title. Computer. Crashy. Computer. Stream. There we go. Just so everyone knows what the theme of the evening is at this point. Change the thumbnail. There, it's my General Gaming Lawyer live thumbnail. This thing, like, turns people off. The lowest views that I ever get are when I have the generic Lawyer Plays live thumbnail. I don't know why. Oh, no, I could definitely... Yeah, I could get a top-of-the-line PC for the amount we're paying for our trip next week, but I don't think of it that way. I mean, honestly, we have enough in savings that I could buy a top-of-the-line TV or PC right now and still be able to pay rent, but it's just that money is being saved up for other bigger things. And we wouldn't have that kind of money if I was making those kinds of decisions. But, honestly, I'm pretty sure I will. I think probably for my birthday this year, if I make it that far, if my PC rather makes it that far, I'm very optimistic of my chances of surviving to my 52nd birthday. My PC, however, I'm not quite so optimistic about. But I have a feeling that's my next 6 years is a good run for me. It's probably the longest I've ever had a gaming PC. It is. It's the longest I've ever had a gaming PC. So for it to have lasted this long, is pretty, yeah. It's done, it's served its time with poise and dignity. You modded the hell out of your Fallout games. Yeah, I put a shit ton of mods on my Fallout game. I like graphical overhauls and all sorts of features and shit like that. Everyone whose Bethesda games are playable mods. Yeah, mods are the only reason they work. Yeah, they're unofficial patches that I consider kind of essential. And every mainline Bethesda title has a community-made unofficial patch. And Ethan, did I say hi? I know I saw you, but I can't remember if I said hi. Hi, Ethan. Howdy, as you say. Your gaming PC has finally been full replaced after 7 years. Well, what's happened in the past is usually at some point I will upgrade something in the computer. And maybe it'll start acting up, and then I will randomly try to troubleshoot it. Like, well, maybe it's the power source. Maybe it's the graphics card. So, like, I think on my last PC, I might have had for about 6 years. Actually, now that I think about it, it also because I think I built it in 2013, and oh shit, hold on. Sorry about that, guys. I just realized this is another random thing that's been happening for the last few months is my microphone. I usually keep the meter on my onboard meter on the microphone at about 30%. And it randomly, every time I restart it, and then randomly at just other times, it sets itself to 100%. So probably like my voice sounded all distorted and fucked up there. But it should be better now. Don't buy something pre-built. It won't last like my current PC. Well, like, I'll probably do what I did with this one. Which was, I had someone else, I had one of those companies that builds computers. And then I was able to, like, hand pick what I wanted. Like, exactly what I wanted. And the parts they used were, like, whatever those parts cost. It wasn't like they had different configurations and they just charge you for it. I'm pretty sure that's how it worked. It's been 6 years, but once in a while I see pre-made gaming PCs that already seem like they may be in good configurations. I wouldn't completely write off those possibilities, but I know that some of those companies have a tendency to cut corners. And then it's like the little stupid stuff like power supplies and things like that can, if you're trying to cheapo out on some of the things under the hood, you may actually like fuck up your computer. That was, I think, one of my pitfalls in my early PCs is I was always trying to get like the cheap. It's like, hey, it's like, they make it sound all fancy. It's like, hey, it's a gold premium standard, like 800 watt power supply for $25. It's like, how come some of them that sound less fancy cost, $100? I don't know. I'm gonna get the $25 one. They cut a lot of corners and overcharge when they don't. All right. Their service sends it across the board. I mean, that's where I was saying I wouldn't write it off simply for the fact that I haven't researched those companies in many years. And so the reason I wouldn't write it off is because I would want to look into it first and see if there are some of them that are reputable. And I think what it came down to last time too, because the previous PC I built myself, but that was actually pretty stressful. I was constantly afraid I was going to fuck it up. And if anything didn't work, like if I put it all together and it didn't turn on, I didn't know what I was going to do. Like I probably just at that point have to go take it to like a computer store or like a computer service center. May as well take the no service of the homemade PC. I mean, I've been lucky I haven't needed a lot of service. You have a micro center nearby, they'll assemble your PC for you. I don't know if I have a micro center nearby. I have to look into it. Well, that's good to know. I haven't even thought of that. You can just buy the parts and then bring it to someone to put together. It might be even easier than it was. The last time I assembled a PC was, 12 years ago. And there were certain things, I think like motherboards and shit needed to be screwed onto the case. There were certain things that were not just like putting Legos together. But it's been like that for a long time. It's stuff like, well, I guess CPU's a little bit, you gotta do the thermal paste. There's a little bit more to it than just sticking a Lego into a brick, but RAM, you have to be careful to put them in the right slots or else you can fuck that up. There's a lot of little things you can do to fuck it up. And then the little power cables and shit like that. I think a lot of that stuff is still a consideration. And it's not overwhelming if you kind of know how to navigate that stuff. If you don't, I think it can be. I felt relatively comfortable with it, but when I built my computer from scratch in 2013, I was still pretty stressed. They come with, that's right, I did, with the one I bought did have thermal paste pre-applied. I stressed out about the CPU because I had to apply so much force to clamp it down that I thought I was going to break the motherboard. And so that's one thing I probably spent an hour not putting the CPU on. And then I looked up a bunch of videos and a bunch of Reddit threads and whatever. And then I learned a lot of people said that the same thing. Like, yeah, it's going to sound like you have to apply a lot of pressure to clamp it in. And it's going to sound like your motherboard's breaking. But at the same time, they're like, but be careful you don't break your thing. You know, you're going to break the chip. And I'm like, well, I don't know what the fuck that line is. So that's the sort of thing that I was like super like sweating bullets when I was doing. It's like, yeah, you have to be forceful, but don't break it. It's like, well, what the fuck? Get a mini cooler and put the tower inside? Really? You're talking like literally like a mini fridge type of thing, Overlord McKeek? That actually doesn't sound like a terrible idea. I never heard of anyone doing that before, but it would take 2,700. Are you talking about dollars, or is 2,700 a GPU line? Oh, it's an AMD 2,700. I don't know what numbers anything are right now. It's not like putting RAM in the wrong slots will kill you. Oh, it just won't work, right? Isn't that the problem? If you put them in the wrong slot, it just won't. You'll just end up only having access to like the first stick, or whichever stick, wherever you started putting them in the wrong place. $2,700. I got that AMD 2,700, biatch. Snow Raven's going for the best. Yeah, 1 and 3. But that was one of those things where I'm pretty sure I had a computer in the past where I didn't know that, and I gimped my RAM and didn't realize I'd done it. That's how Stone described. Okay, let me see. What else I got installed already? No. Man, I'm picky right now. I am fussy. I'm always game fussy, though. I'll spare you Lord of the Rings Online, because there is a part of me that's tempted to do that. It probably needs like a huge update at this point, because I haven't launched it in like a month. That was one thing when I was super stressed today, and you're welcome, Brad. When I was super stressed today, I had an impulse to play Lord of the Rings Online. Especially because I was paranoid about Adamfall crashing after last night. Which turned out to be justified. But at this point, I don't know if anything could crash it right now. It might not be Adamfall, because Adamfall wasn't crashing all week until last night. 3800X and RX 930 Nitro GPU. I haven't looked at. I don't know if that's impressive or not, because I don't know what those numbers mean, because I haven't researched any PC tech in like 6 years. So, Ultima Online. I could play more pools. I think I'm saving pools for VR experience. Any random shit. I'm gonna look in my Steam library. Maybe I could look at my Game Pass library. I always forget about that. If there's something that wasn't a huge install. Game Pass. Probably I'm gonna end up playing Laser Puzzles. What's that game called? Talos Principle. I'm sort of leaning towards Talos Principle just because I'm kind of already in the mood for it. But also, the first time I hit a puzzle, I might just get pissed off and not want to play it anymore. It's like if it actually makes me think, I'll be like, fuck this shit. This game's a bitch. Yeah, I like to... Even when I'm not subscribed to Game Pass, I like to check it frequently. All right. Smite 2. Crime Scene Cleaner is one that I've seen around. It's like not a premium like AAA game, but it's kind of be fun. This one, South of Midnight, looks kind of interesting. I think I'll play that now. There's Atomfall. I'm just sad I can't play Atomfall right now. Honestly, this is the game I sort of wanted to play tonight. I'm not playing Stanley Parable. That's played out for me. It's played out for me. This is probably a bad time for me to be browsing games though, because honestly, I'm so like my mood. I'm so over it right now that everything is like, yo. Sometimes I want to replay Arx Fatalis. That one's kind of fun. But it has a weird spell casting system where you've got to actually draw the symbols on the screen with your mouse. And that shit pisses me off. So fuck that game. What if there's a mod to get rid of the gesture spell casting? And hey, Rockslide, what's up? Welcome to my terrible stream that's not working. Someday I want to play these Citizen Sleeper games. I have the first one. I've installed it. It might even be installed. It's a very story, text-heavy game. After I did that, The Life and Suffering of Sir Brante, or whatever that was, I almost jumped into Citizen Sleeper. Yeah, there's a couple of like the newer ones up here that look good. South of Midnight looks good. I mean, some of these, if I looked at them, might end up looking good. Blueprints looks kind of interesting. It's not the highest rated game, but it's like a puzzle, kind of interesting looking game. My friend played it and he thought it was good. I'm sure Cocoon is, in fact, does it have, what's that guy's name? William Brimley? Is he still around? I'm going to go out on a limb and say no, but. There's Avowed. I may get back into Avowed. I don't know if I want to right now. The thing is, Atomfall plays a lot smoother than Avowed. I feel like Avowed pushes my system harder. But up until last night, Atomfall has been like smooth and stable as anything. Another Man's Crab is supposed to be kind of fun. Yeah, Crime Scene Cleaner seems like it could be cool. I don't know if I want to delve in. I'm probably not going to download anything new. Just looking through Game Pass just to be like, hey, look at all these games that I could play because I'm subscribed to Game Pass. $11.99 a month, ladies and gentlemen. Core Keeper. I see Matus has been still playing. I have Core Keeper on Steam because it was like on sale a few months ago. I've seen Matus playing a bunch of that lately. And Death Loop. I think I also got that from Game Pass. A lot of these games are like, these are great games, but I already have them from like either bought them or got them from Game Pass. I want to play Dungeons of Hinterberg. It kind of reminds me of my time at Portia. It kind of has a similar vibe to that. He made it to 2020? Did he die? Did he really die of the complications from diabetes? Which all those commercials were... Well, wasn't that the thing? Of, like, he was a spokesman for stuff because he had diabetes, so he talked about stuff that was good for diabetes. I think the dude still lived to be like 90 years old, so he probably did all right. Saw that. Was it Quaker Oatmeal? Was that the one he was always saying? Helps you with your diabetes. Expeditions is neat if you like off-road sims. Which one's that? Oh, this one? Okay. Oh, Mud Runner. Okay, yeah. I haven't tried that one. I still have the Snow Runner one that I kind of got into and thought like, that seemed like a pretty decent game. That's one of those where I'm like, next time I'm in the mood to play a Mud Runner-ish game, I think I'm going to go back to that, but And I think Frostpunk 2 is available. I'm curious to try that. Did I install Frostpunk 2? No, I didn't. The games that I have from Avowed, I still have Indiana Jones, Star Trucker, and Humanity. I thought right now about playing Star Trucker, but I'm like, I don't know. I thought about it for a second. I'm like, nah, I don't want to play Star Trucker. Fussy. I'm a fussy boy right now. Because I've had a hard day and my computer crashed. It made me sad. This is like sometimes what I do when I'm in like a fussy mood is I'll go look through my Steam library. I'll look through. I've got like a GOG / Epic Games. I think the GOG launcher now includes your Epic Games library, so I'll look through that. I'll look through all the games that I have or have access to. And then I'll be like, now I'm tired. I think I need a late. I will end up playing anything because I'll fuss myself into like where I don't even start a game. You think I'd be all into Madden 25? Hypnospace Outlaw. I want to say that a couple years ago I did hear about like some people who liked that game. My friend Peppa Pig. Is that a good one, Brad? Is it like Pool of Radiance good, or is it actually fun? That's not fair. Pool of Radiance has its own charm. I'm not gonna lie. Didn't I stream Pool of Radiance like 3 or 4 weeks in a row? I played Quantum Break at some point. That fits into that Alan Wake universe. At some point, I'm gonna go through all the Alan Wake shit. I want them to fix Stalker 2 so I can play that. Stalker 2 sounds like it's going to be a great game in 2027. I played, I don't know, 20 hours or so of the first one, and I was enjoying it. And you say the second Octopath is even better? They're really popular games, too. I did, however, get a little burnt out on the turn-based JRPG formula. There's that new one. Is it Expedition 33? It's coming out, I think, in the next couple weeks. And it is also going to come out on Game Pass. That might shake me loose and get me to try turn-based. But really, I'm like 106 hours into Metaphor ReFantazio, which for the most part I was really enjoying. And then I just got burned. That was just way too much of that style of game for me. Even though I do love that style of game, I just had enough. I need some time. It's like Peter Cetera would say, even lovers need a holiday. You know? Far away from the one that I love. Is that the one? Hold me now. It's hard for me to say I'm sorry. That's what I'll say to Metaphor ReFantazio when I finally go back to it. Hard for me to say I'm sorry. Was that Chicago or was it Peter Cetera? Did you factually know that I was a Chicago fan, or you just assumed? You're like, Ryan's the type of guy that would be a Chicago fan. After all things you've been through. I don't remember the words. I will make it up to you. I was singing, talking about after 106 hours, I just needed a break from Metaphor ReFantazio and turn-based JRPG style games in general. And I said, as Stone's asking what does he have to do with this, I said, as Peter Cetera would say, even lovers need a holiday. Yeah, he was the lead singer of Chicago. Until he wasn't. Then another guy was. But he was the original. You know? Yeah, he was the original. Let me see. Let me go to my game loaders. My game downloaders. I got my my GOG Galaxy. That's what I'll do because I can't actually play games without crashing my computer. Let's see. Owned games. So this is actually between GOG and Epic Games, I have a considerable library. 287 games between those two services. I actually tried. I heard it was good, and I think I own it through a Superliminal. And that's the funny thing is sometimes I'm in the mood for puzzly games, but then they can easily piss me off. And that's what happened. I was playing that. I'm like, this is pretty cool. And I got about 10 minutes in, and then I got stuck, and I was like, fuck this game. I can't deal with this shit right now. And I turned it off. So I can be a sensitive flower. Isn't that the one that's like Mega Man, super hoppy, difficult side platformer? Super punishing? Let's see, it's Back to the Future, the game, you know. Good. Got all the Borderlands. The Captain was kind of fun. I was messing around with that game. That's sort of like an adventure point-and-click game. It's like Mega Man X. You don't find it difficult? I think when I looked it up, the reputation was, though, that many people did. But I could be remembering it wrong. Death Stranding 2 is coming out this year. I'm kind of looking forward to that. I think that's still a month or a couple months away, maybe. That one I held off on playing for a while, but once I got into it, I really got it. I really enjoyed it. It's such a unique game. And weird. There's some weird shit to it. I could understand why it wouldn't be for everybody. Because there was some bizarre shit in that game. The original Frostpunk was pretty good. It's out in June. Okay. Someday I want to go back and play Immortals Phoenix Rising, but it was too generic open world. Going Medieval is a little bit like RimWorld, but medieval times. I think that's still in early access. I think it's been in early access for like 5 years. But a lot of the games I play have been early. Project Zomboid has been in early access since like 2010. They're still in like pre-alpha. June 24th. All right. Someday I got to go back and replay the Hitman games. I think I got like 75% of the way through the Hitman reboot, the first of 3, and I own the second one. Journey to Savage Planet is coming out with a sequel in the near future. I surprisingly enjoyed that. I think I streamed it once. That was a fun game. Maneater, I've almost played several times where you get to be the shark. You're like Jaws, basically. It's like GTA, except you're a shark instead of a gangster. Trails in the Sky, I've really, really wanted to get into. In fact, I repurchased it last year when I got my Steam Deck. I was able to get my GOG version of it running on the Steam Deck, but there are all these weird, like, the ability to save it, and certain, like, the settings kept getting wonky, and it happened to be on sale on Steam. But I've had Trails in the Sky for many years. I've tried to get into it several times, and successfully gotten into it several times, but I get 20 to 30 hours in and burn out. The last time I got into it was last year, and I got into it enough. I got further than I've ever been before. I probably got about 40 hours into it. Enough that the next game in the series came on sale, and I bought that too, thinking like, oh, I'm making my way through this time. And then I just burned out on it. The games, I don't know if I have the stamina for it. There's a lot of writing, and then there's a lot of like the JRPG characters just being written kind of like little kids, like immature. And that's sort of like an anime thing that in general, I think that kind of can get on my nerves. So if you like anime and you don't mind people being like really cartoony and portrayed immaturely, there's an actual good story going on there. It's just sort of the way they tell it triggers a lot of things that can get on my nerves. Any of them, I think I have all the Might and Magic games. Update later. I got them in like you paid $3.99 and got the first 6 games or some shit. The only one I really got far into, and this is before the Gaming Lawyer channel, but it was probably like in, I don't know, 2012, 2013. I played a whole bunch of Might and Magic 7. Or was that 8? Might and Magic 7. I think it was 7, the one I got really into. Around the same time I was into Ultima, I actually got Might and Magic 3. That was a brand new game around that time. So after I finished Ultima, I bought that, but I just couldn't get into it. There wasn't enough story and stuff going on. Nuclear Throne, is that one that I own? I'm like, what? Sometimes I don't even remember what I have. Yeah, it is. See it there. A lot of those are games that just like the Epic Store, and I've sort of stopped even paying attention. I'm like, I got so many fucking games, I don't even pay attention anymore. But I think a lot of these games, let me see how many of these are Epic. Okay. A lot of these, this is all Epic right now, filtered for just Epic games. I would say 2/3 of these games are like games I got for free from their, like, every week they give away games. A lot of them are games I already own on other platforms. I'm always like, well, what if for some reason I pissed off Steam one day and they're like, fuck you, we're canceling your account. It's like a doomsday prepper to be taking all the duplicative copies that as they become up free of things that I already own, coming up free on the Epic Store. I'll take that one, and I'll take that one. Epic it has in the past also had some like very epic sales. They've had some ridiculous sales in the past. Some sales that kind of like kick the shit out of the Steam sale, except they don't have nearly as large a library. How many are just GOG? Now I've filtered for just GOG. I actually have a lot more Epic games. There's the Ultimas. I played Witcher on there. Wizardry 8. I did play some Wizardry 8, that's right. A few years ago. There's Ultima 4. The Temple of Elemental Evil. Properly modded up. That game is decent. I never beat it. That's the original Princes of the Apocalypse. The campaign that Nick has run like 6 times. I don't know. Nick, I think, has run it like 3 times now. Is that about right, Nick? 3 times for Princes of the Apocalypse. Neverwinter Nights 2, I've repeatedly thought I'd need to go back and play that at some point. You're on your 3rd time now, okay. Heroes of Might and Magic. Any of you guys ever played that? The only one I really played was Heroes of Might and Magic 3 Complete. And I played that back in like probably 2002. It came out in 98. And everyone made a big deal about it being incredible. And I kept looking at the box and the game art and thinking that looks like really basic. And finally I was convinced to try it. And like I fell hard with both feet into that game. As soon as I started playing it, I loved it. And I played the shit out of that game until I like beaten every bit of content. Yeah, no, it was. I think I put some serious hours into Heroes of Might and Magic 3. I liked the soundtrack so much, and at least the version that I had, I bought it on disc back then. Literally, if you went into the game files, all the music was stored as MP3s. So I copied them out and would play them in my media player on auto repeat. There was like 3 or 4 tracks, especially from the Heroes 3 soundtrack, that I'm curious if I can find Heroes of Might. Yeah, Might and Magic 3. There it is, Might and Magic 3 soundtrack. Let me see if I can find the playlist. Oh, they're just like theme 1, theme 2, theme 3. Neutral theme, evil theme, lava theme. Was it snow theme that I liked? No. There's Castletown. It's pretty good video game music for 1998. Yeah, I'm getting like nostalgic now too, listening to it. And then I think it just loops. I think it just... And Tower Town, I think I also liked. These were the the mages, snow villages. Sort of Bavarian waltz type of thing. Yeah, this is one that I put on auto repeat sometimes for sure. I'm still a little blown away that this was 1998 video game music. Even listening to it now, I expect it to feel more aged or more simple. I gotta remember these songs. These songs would make good background songs for just like other background videos I do. And this one is like, it is all, well, I guess it's about 4 minutes, but it is not a repeating loop. This is all like, it's all an unfolding, like evolving song. Because the fact is, if you're just playing the game and you're in one of your tower cities, and if you for some reason hang out in there for 20 minutes, it will loop. But I also liked one of the bad guy sound ones. Is it Inferno Town? It's just a very kind of like sinister, suspenseful. It's very Tim Burton-esque in a lot of ways. God, this is so good. I'm like totally into this right now. Was that it? Okay, that was all of it. What's Necromancy Town? I want to say there was one like an elven or a dwarven, like it's like a highland sound. I think this one. It's ambient. Ambient. I think this one's not quite as exciting. The Stronghold Town? Ambient. Oh, I think it was Rampart Town? Yeah, I like this one too. I think this was just relaxing. This was Dungeon Town. Nope, not as cool as Inferno Town. If you're gonna do Bad Guy Town, it's Inferno Town for the win. This is not terrible, but it's no Inferno Town. That's all I'm saying. Alright, it's growing on me a little bit. Let's see, what was good theme? That's a little milk toast. A neutral theme. Evil theme. Ooh, I think I like evil theme. This might just be a rehash of Inferno Town. I like this one. I remember this one now. Yeah, some good stuff right there. What was grass theme? Oh. I'm preemptively bored by the sound effects. Let's skip ahead. I think this was just like overland map music. Super loud. Alright. Well, that's enough of a walk down memory lane. At least for that. Let me see. Trying to remember, I downloaded a bunch of Final Fantasy covers. Now I can't remember where I put them. That doesn't matter. No one will like that shit anyway. Like remixes of the prelude. Well, look at me not playing any games. I could just have some of that music going in the background to fill space when I'm just sitting here not talking. Here, we'll come back over here. Okay, all right, hopefully this doesn't crash my stream. If my stream does crash at this point, I'm just gonna let it. I'm gonna let it die. We're late enough in the evening. Oh man, Talos Principle has a actually has an update. All right, well, we'll give that a second. I could always play Power Wash Simulator. that can be a good go-to game when you don't like you don't feel like playing any other games. Like, oh yeah, just gonna wash the dirt off of a playground. That's a little bit to me like the appeal of Talos Principle, is you just go in, screw around with the puzzles. The thing about it that I forget is it's got like a lot of text logs and things that I'm like, when I was playing through it, I was like, I don't want to read all that again. It was interesting. I enjoyed it my first playthrough, but I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna reread all of the journal entries. Even though it all sort of came together into like a powerful, like to become a powerful narrative that actually did resonate with me. Like it moved me all together. What is Michael? Michael, go away, dude. Why is he back? I guess because my computer hard crashed. It forgot that I'd turned my little Michael off. All right, the game is launching now. And Nick, I don't think I saw your comment, but I don't think I said anything about it. I never had Warcraft 2. I did get Warcraft 3, but the Warcraft franchise in general, like World of Warcraft, there's definitely some music that I would just listen to. Like I've definitely played Warcraft music and just had it on looped. It's still loading. Hopefully it should catch in a sec. If it doesn't, I might need to... There we go. Sometimes it takes a minute. Yeah, I think you've only actually ever seen me play the VR version of this. Which was a pretty amazing experience. But this definitely is the better looking version. It'd probably be easier on the eyes for you guys. You didn't play much of the first one. I never played the first one or the second one. You played a lot. I played a lot of 3. I played the main campaign of 3. I'm trying to remember if I finished. What is it? I mean, it was like the birth of the Lich King, and that came in the form of an expansion. All right, I think there might be a hidden star on this level, but I'm just gonna skip past it. It's taking a while to load. At first, I'm like, did I crash? Did I crash now? Okay, nope.
There is much that you may learn in the halls of my temples, for there is much that you do not know. That is why you are a child. But children are made to learn, and in time they come to have dominion over the lands of their home. So it shall be with you and your generations.
All right. Wait a minute. Did I have any more things to unlock? Nope. I don't have the pieces necessary to unlock that next part. Then we got the developer logs.
The terminals in the game play a crucial role in storytelling. They serve as a vehicle for the story. So it was very important for us to, encourage players to interact with the terminals and try to dig some hidden narrative treasures there. We wanted to signal, whether the terminal's content has been fully explored or there is something new, and we needed a clear visual and audio cue for that. We achieved this with assigning almost irritating audio prompt and the ASCII animation of the blinking eye. So during one particularly creative night shift, I recorded a close-up of my eye blinking in the movie and extracted several frames, processed them in Photoshop, converted them from the pixel art to ASCII, so it would be, appropriate to the style of the terminal. And this ended up to a so-called Milton Eye. That animation became almost an iconic symbol for the game, and even made its way onto the back of our Talos Principle t-shirts.
Well, he sure had a lot to say. All right. Oh, you like these 2 rock slide? I feel like this is one of those games that I always sort of like them, but last year when I realized that they had the first one, this one in VR, I was like, that is exactly the kind of VR experience I like. So much of VR is like about swinging swords and being all like physical. I'm like, just give me something where I can just be in a world like this, doing chill shit for like hours and hours, and I'll be into it. But then I got totally into it, and then Talos Principle 2 released. Of course, that's not VR, and I just utterly devoured that. I didn't finish. They came out with an expansion a few months later, which is I started playing, and then I think at that point I had enough for a minute. I needed a break, but that was also really good. All right. So, one thing I noted here, there is a secret. In this level, there's the gold stars are like the secret things that are hard to get. And there's one back here. But you need a red laser to open this. And in this puzzle, there is only a blue laser. When you first started playing this one, you were legit terrified of the mines. Oh yeah, no, they're still intimidated. The little, and they start beeping like they're gonna detonate. I'll tell you, in VR, it's a lot more intimidating. Is it choppy as? Oh, I guess it probably looks choppier on OBS. There is some micro stutter. There is some micro stutter. Yeah, I won't lie. And it's probably a little worse when I'm streaming. And I know I was messing with this earlier. Let me see if I do, I do have, vertical sync on. Let me try orderless vertical sync off. Nope, that's arguably worse. That's probably about the same. There's definitely some macro stutter. Yeah, it shouldn't. Well, I don't know if anyone else is seeing choppy, but no. I would say just like there's a noticeable, like you can see the frames, but not like choppy. Seems fine. Okay. But this one I happen to remember that you can tie this to there's a whatever these things are called, a connector up there. It's one of those things that, yeah, to get the star, you got to think outside the box a little bit. And it's added some of that thing where you can keep existing connections. That's from Talos Principle 2, I believe. All right. So, What this means is if I can beam a red laser up into that thing from another puzzle, it'll shoot through here and it will unlock the secret star door.
Behold, I am Elohim, and I speak unto the darkness. Be gone.
Oh, damn.
Excess data cleared.
Well, that's not the sort of thing you want to hear from your deity.
We never really wanted to tell you how to use any of the mechanics. We wanted to skip the tutorials as much as possible, because they rob you of the discovery and exploration of the mechanics. The puzzles are tutorials, and they slowly teach you what is possible.
No, I'm not going to read shit. Not this time. I still don't know exactly what these little robot recordings are. Like if that's supposed to be a clue or not. Literally outside the box. You played a lot of this game, okay. I know I didn't 100%, and then for the first time, I played Road to Gehenna, which is the expansion, and I didn't own that on PC. That's actually when I think I got the VR version of Talos Principle on like deep sale for like $4.99, and it included Road to Gehenna. So I played that for the first time last year when I played VR, and I don't think I got all the stars. I know there are a couple puzzles I never figured out in the base game. And then there are whole areas I didn't even get to in Road to Gehenna. I beat it, but there were like whole areas that I could see on the map that I didn't know how to get there, and I never managed to get in.